I found that the missing episodes of Doctor Who have inspired artists across the world. I think because the original audio survives, it has inspired amateur animators to fill in the gaps of these lost classics. Today, we're going to discuss some of these animations and some of the various art styles used. Because these are fan attempts and they have no budgets, I'm obviously not going to be roasting any of these animations. It's more of just a curiosity. So I think it's important to be kind to these people because a lot of them are starting out. And the intention of this video is not to make them feel bad. If anything, it's to encourage them. I'll be ordering these by story order. Some stories don't have any animations that I could find online. So let's start off with Conga Line Monkey's Marco Polo. I remember stumbling on this animation ages ago and just being absolutely stunned by the high quality artwork. It's almost like it's the telesnaps being brought back to life. I think Conga Line Monkey does a really good job at getting the likenesses of the characters correct. They all look very, very good. Obviously, some of the animation is quite limited. There's not much movement of the characters, but I think it works as is. And it just goes to show what the original production would have been so beautiful. And it makes you really want an official missing episode animation of this production. And I think before this, they also did The Evil of the Daleks as well, just a few scenes from it. It's interesting to see like a fan animation and then an official animation come out later and just comparing them side by side as well. And it just looks so clean. I feel like clean is the word I use whenever I see this. It's just so nice to look at. I think I would absolutely love to see Conga Line Monkey do like a full length episode animation because it's just really great work. Next up, we have Sierra Comics doing a bit of Marco Polo as well. I think the artwork is really nice to look at. It reminds me kind of like Hanna-Barbera type with the eyes. Even though it's just a short little clip, I think it has real potential. It's clear that they've based it on the loose cannon reconstruction as well. I recognize these shots. And it's just so nice to see all these animations in such crisp HD quality as well. You can tell they put a lot of time and effort into it. I'm constantly searching on YouTube Doctor Who animation and looking at the newest uploads, but somehow this one just like avoided me for so long. So I was really happy to see this one. It was so different to what I've seen before as well. I'd be interested to see if Sierra Comics does more. I think it has real potential and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in the future. Next up, we have MMF294, who has also done Marco Polo. So they've done episode 1, Roof of the World, and episode 2, The Singing Sands, and I think they're working on episode 3 as we speak. By the time this video comes out, maybe episode 3 is already done. I love this art style. It's so different to anything I've seen other animators do. I feel like a lot of people are trying to do very like lifelike and to replicate the style of the official releases, whereas it's clear they've done their own complete new take on it. I'm not sure if this will be everyone's cup of tea because of the art style is so different, but I quite like it and I think the characters are really cute. The animation is also quite limited, there's not much movement and stuff, but I think there's enough that it keeps you hooked and interested. The Singing Sands is one of my favorite episodes of Marco Polo as well. It has some of my favorite scenes in it, so it's nice to see it given an animation treatment as well. I think as well in their thumbnails, they have color thumbnails, so I'll be interested to see if they're animating in color and then doing it in black and white afterwards. But I think the black and white looks really nice as well. I can tell they've spent a lot of time working on this. The idea of animating multiple episodes all by yourself is a huge mammoth task, and I really appreciate what they're doing. Because most of these clips in this list that you will see are not fully completed projects. They are more tests and they will do a scene rather than doing whole episodes. So something like this is very admirable. So I look forward to what they're going to be doing in the future. I have a good feeling they might finish Marco Polo. So I hope they're given the support and the motivation to keep going because it is a lot of work. Next up, we've got King Temple Productions, who has been doing Marco Polo in Animal Crossing, which I think is the cutest thing ever. Obviously, this won't be everyone's cup of tea. It's pretty clear that it's Animal Crossing, but I think it's really, really cute, so I thought it'd be nice to mention it. I don't think they've gone past the first episode, but I thought it was worth mentioning. So this next animation you've probably heard of. It's probably one of the crown jewels in the fan animation space, mainly because it is such high quality and also it's complete. So you can actually sit down and watch this entire story in one go. It's the Mission to the Unknown animation, which was funded by Ian Levine and animated by David Busch. I think there was more people on the team, but I think David Busch was the leading person on the project. It's pretty clear that they were making this as an example to show the DVD team that, hey, commission this and you can get official releases and that. And it is a bit disappointing this wasn't given an official release because I think it really is up to scratch, especially for the time when it was made. I think it has some beautiful artwork. The animation is really, really smooth. And it's nice that we have two really, really good versions of Mission to the Unknown, this and the U-Clan recreation. But yeah, I haven't really got many notes for this one. I think it really is a really solid production, and I wish it did get a proper release because I think it could have led to more projects that look like this, and I would have really enjoyed that. This next one I'm really excited about. It's by, I'm probably gonna butcher this name, Janji Giggins is the YouTube name. I am very excited for this one because I think it has a lot of promise. I think it has a real cinematic quality to it. I think it's something to do with the lighting and the sets and the costumes are enough that I can believe it. And I think if you watched it in black and white, it'd be even more convincing as well. But yeah, I think the movement is really smooth, and I think this sort of 3D animated, realistic looking thing has potential. And I hope something official does come out in this sort of vein in the future. But by the looks of it, they're planning on doing more. So I've seen some test footage and stuff like that. So I'll be excited to see where this project goes. It'd be really great if we could get one episode like this. I think that would be absolutely amazing. So I really want to show this clip from the DALEKS master plan that Rob Ritchie, who works on the official animations, uploaded a few years back. It's my speculation that is completely unfounded. Maybe this was some test footage for an animation that never came to be. But I think the quality of it is so beautiful, and it makes you think, oh, imagine if they did animate it. It's so, so nice. But yeah, we can dream, can't we? So this test reel by Neil Bushnell was an actual pitch to the BBC when they were looking for animators to do some projects back in the DVD days. So around the time of the Ice Warriors and the Reign of Terror stuff. I think this one is really, really nice, and it's great to see some color animation in that cartoony style they were doing back then. And seeing some cartoon Daleks being animated is really cool as well. But yeah, I think it would have been great if we could have got some more animations in this style. I think it would have been really, really nice. It makes you think about how many other pitch/show reels that are out there for missing episode animations of Doctor Who. But yeah, just another glimpse of what could have been. So I think it's pretty safe to say the DALEKS master plan is a pretty popular one to animate. And this one's by the real Chris. I don't know if that's how you're supposed to actually say Chris. I'm a bad Big Finish listener. I don't listen to some of the 8th Doctor earlier stuff. I love this animation. It's nice to see some of this photorealistic type work. I think the use of color in this is really stunning as well. That lovely red fog is absolutely stunning to look at. It's funny that they chose a scene that exists rather than a scene that's missing, but maybe that was because there were more reference images and stuff like that. I hope they do decide to do some more 3D stuff. I know the Web of Fear wasn't really my favorite, but I think it's because they tried to go with a 2D cell art style, and it wasn't really my cup of tea. But this more photorealistic stuff would be really, really cool. But it could always end up in the uncanny valley, who knows? But I think stuff like the Daleks always look good in 3D, and it's really nice to see this. And I think we've got to think about, just because missing episode animations aren't being made right now, it means that maybe there's more time for technology to develop and new art styles to come through. And then the future could be something much more exciting than what we've had already. But yeah, of course, there's a difference between animating Daleks and animating humans. And maybe the humans wouldn't look as nice or as realistic as Daleks, but who knows? Now this one's not necessarily an animation, it's more of a deep fake type thing, but I just wanted to highlight it anyway. It's by H.J. Robbins, and I think it's a really cool test of what could be. I think this sort of technology has potential, but I don't think we're really at the point where we could do a full-length animation in this type of style. You've got big budget films and Star Wars, etc., who are trying to do this, and they can pull it off for maybe a couple shots, but they couldn't do something full length. But I think maybe in the future, down the line, it could become more and more feasible. But I thought I'd just highlight it because it's something a bit different. Now onto the Celestial Toymaker. This is one I'm very excited about. This is by Dino Puff. I think it is so beautiful. They've got a real good eye for shot composition and making this feel somewhat experimental. And I think that's the way to do the Celestial Toymaker because it is such a weird episode of Doctor Who. I think this overly stylistic look is really, really nice. And I'm hoping that it leads up to a full-length animation. I think if it's done completely, it could be one of those like crown jewels of the missing episode animations. It feels scary and weird, and I think it's just really, really nice, and I'm excited to see what they do in the future. This one by Toyline Assembly is really exciting because it feels like if Cosgrove Hall, who did the Invasion animation, did the Celestial Toymaker afterwards, because it's the exact same type of artwork and it's really, really nice to see. This next animation of the Savages by A Load of Hoo-Ha is really, really interesting. They did quite a lot of it, which is really impressive. And although there's some rigging issues, I still think it's quite watchable. And I think as the episode progresses and as they learn, they get better and better. I know they're using Character Animator, which is the same I use for my Out of Time animation. And there's a bit of a learning curve when it comes to Character Animator, especially when it comes to rigging your characters correctly. But I think once they figure that out, I think this could be a really, really cool animation. I think they've stopped working on it now, but it was nice to see what they did so far. I think it just goes to show a project of this size is really, really hard. But I think the artwork is really, really nice. So next up we have Garrett Gilchrist's animation of the Smugglers. I know he did a lot of different types of animation clips for missing episodes of Doctor Who, but I just wanted to highlight this one. Now this one was done quite a long time ago, so I'm sure it would look a lot better if he was doing them now, but I think it shows real potential. I think the character artwork is probably a little bit too detailed for my taste, but I think if it was in black and white, it might be a bit more palatable for me. I swear I've seen him do the entirety of Evil of the Daleks episode 7, which is also like a massive achievement, so he should be really proud of himself for like doing the whole thing. This next one is by Maddox Productions. It was a very early test for some of the animation style, and I think he's come a really long way since doing this one as well, and we'll talk about his Space Pirates animation later on in this video. But I like how fluid the animation is. This next one is the Underwater Menace yet again by that Ironside guy. And I thought this one was really fun and I really wanted to highlight it because it was all done in Minecraft, which usually I'm like, oh, that's a bit hesitant to something like that, but I think the movement is really fun and it kind of brings the story to life quite a bit. I think it's kind of like really cute and fun, and I think I would like to see a full episode like this. They did about 10 minutes or so, which is a really impressive amount of work. I have no idea what it's like to animate in Minecraft, but it looks really, really cool. Now this one by Neil Smith is absolutely stunning. It's the Web of Fear episode 3, and it's really done in such crisp HD, and it's sort of like the styles of the official animations as well. I think it just looks so beautiful, and I wish this is kind of what we got on the official release. I think they were working on this before the animation was announced, so he's done about a good minute or so of it, and it is just so, so, so nice. And the Yetis look so cute and cuddly, which I love. I think the likenesses are just so nice as well. This next one is a really, really ambitious project by Adam Bullock, who did the entirety of the Web of Fear episode 3. They've been doing different animation projects for years, and it's nice to see them come back and do like a proper full-length episode as well. I think this one's really fun to watch, and I think it's definitely watchable. It came out before the official animation as well, I think a good couple years before. So at least it had a bit of time where it was the only animation of this episode. I definitely remember sitting down and watching this one as I watched the surviving episodes, and I thought it was a good way of watching it. I thought the camera movements were good. I think it was laid out really nicely. So I think it's a really worthwhile thing to watch. This next one by Marcus DeLeone is absolutely stunning. It's for the Wheel of Space, and it's only a couple minutes of episode 1, but it's really, really nice. It's a completely different art style to most of the other animations. It's 3D, and I think the likenesses are really nice. I think this goes to show that some like 3D animation stuff does look really nice sometimes. I think the sets are really nice, and even they animated the TARDIS floating out of the sea instead of a 2D still image. Who knew it could be done? But I think for a fan animation, it's really, really nice. And now I'm going to quickly talk about the Space Pirates animation by Animators Productions. I really wanted to put this one here as well because it shows how much their art style has changed over these years as well. I think the likenesses are much, much closer, and the fluidness is really, really nice to watch as well. I'd be interested to see if they go further with this production as well. I'd really like to see it. So that's just a few of the missing episode animations that I just wanted to highlight in this video. There are so many more animations out there that are not missing episode related, but I just want to talk about missing episode ones for this video. Some of these projects I would love to see completed so I could sit down and just watch them in full. But I think the fact that most of these animations aren't completed in full just shows how difficult and time-consuming and costly it is to animate something like this. Having done my own animation of the Out of Time Big Finish audio, where the final edit was around an hour long, it was such a huge mammoth task that took like 2 years to do. And you know, I'm very proud that people liked my animation and that people got to see it, which was really, really nice. And if you wanted to see it as well, you have to purchase the copyrighted audio from Big Finish and then press play on the Big Finish audio at the same time as my video and it will sync up. It's not a case of YouTube blocking it, it's more to do with copyright and being on the good side of the BBC and Big Finish. So, do you have a favourite fan animation? Is there any good ones that I left out? Let me know in the comments section below. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Josh Nares YouTube channel. How could I possibly forget that?